Brock Purdy was great in this game. Brock Purdy was as efficient as could be. 300 plus yards, 4 touchdowns. Is he a legit MVP candidate? Yes, he is a legit MVP candidate. Will he win the award? Probably not. If you look at the box score from today's game, you'll say, hey, Brock was the catalyst. 4 touchdowns, 314 yards. If you watch the game, though, was throwing swing passes. There's anything wrong with that. He did a great job throwing swing passes. But what separates the Niners offense from the rest of the league isn't him. He does a great job. But what separates the Niners offense from the rest of the league is the guys who get all those yards after the catch. So he can throw a swing pass and it can be a touchdown. Most teams don't have that. That being said, Brock's kind of perfect for this team. So is he going to win the MVP? Is he the best player on the offense and the MVP of his own team? No. But it doesn't really matter. And I think the most important thing about Brock Purdy isn't like how good is he? Can they win a Super Bowl with him? Probably. I didn't think they could. But it seems like he's good enough on this team at this price that they're paying him. Yeah. And what's cool about him is it seems like he's brought out the best in Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan's been a fairly stodgy, run-first, conservative, offensive genius since he's gotten here. The Niners hired him for what he did in Atlanta in 2016, which was a very aggressive passing. I mean, it was a balanced offense, but they were a very good passing offense. And he didn't bring that offense with him to the Niners. I don't know. Maybe he felt he couldn't do that with Jimmy Garoppolo, which is fair because it was freaking Jimmy. But with Purdy, like, you don't have to be this run first, play action off it, stodgy system anymore. You can do whatever you want. You can have a pass first West Coast offensive attack. When people say Brock Purdy's kind of like Joe Montana, this is what they mean. He can operate a quick passing attack without the benefit of a run game or a play action passing game really, really well. If he could do this the rest of the season, the Niners might just win the Super Bowl. This is a whole different type of offense. This is the wrinkle the Niners need. I've been waiting all year. What is their offensive wrinkle going to be? In the past, it was always a new running back. 2019, they got Mostert. They lost McKinnon. Tevin Coleman isn't really hitting that well. Mostert steps up. 2021, Debo's a running back. 2022, McCaffrey's a running back because they're such a run-first team. Why? Freaking Jimmy. Now it's like, no. The adjustment is passing the ball. And you don't have to pass down the field because it wasn't going to work. Your offensive line isn't good enough for that. Get the ball out of your quarterback's hands. Throw the ball backward. That's a good play. So I don't want to take anything away from Brock Purdy. His job is kind of easy. So is Hurts. He's better than Hurts. I said before the game, I'd rather have Hurts than Purdy. I take it back. I'd rather have Purdy. He's a good quarterback. And the Niners are using him perfectly. And he's bringing out the best Kyle Shanahan. And his job is easy. But he's a lot of fun to watch. He's so confident. He's so efficient. It's like watching a 33-year-old, 23-year-old. Got to appreciate it. Shout out Brock Purdy for being so Purdy. It was terrible. Just saw the grade, 7 years, relentless criticism. I had to do what I had to do. It worked. Ali says our D-line barely got pressure on Hurts. Yeah, but that was by design. I'm going to talk about them in a little bit. They did that on purpose. WB Studio says F the Eagles. Okay. Let's go. Brandon says Eagles' chance of beating the Niners were a bunch of malarkey. Dave Barclay says, I'm not a BP fan, but he schooled Jalen today. Stephen Price, that's true. Stephen Price, I've never seen as much blatant holding than I did with the Eagles O-line today. Frankly, that considered, I think the Niners O-line is better. Okay. Neil says, Nick Wright taking notes right now to discredit Brock Purdy. Give him his props. Matt says, love the way the D-line rushed. Disciplined. Correct. Niner Fan 85 says, BP or 2016 Matt Ryan. Brock Purdy, because Matt Ryan was a freaking statue. David Trinidad says, Purdy spirals are now top 3 in the NFL. You agree? Oh my God. Such good spirals. Double B Studio, $20 says, I feel sorry for the Seahawks. No, I don't. But they're going to feel the wrath next week. Niners look like they could have kept putting up points. Also can't wait for your pop thoughts in this game. Stay tuned. Cody Walker, JP Mason sighting still 5+ yards per carry. He's a great player. Geo, dude, over the top. Proud of these guys today. I'm going to let them know. Abu Marco 23 says, we needed that to clear our mental hurdle, but I really don't want us to go to Philly in January next week. Go Dallas. Right. They play Philly next week. Matthew Sanders says, we put a blueprint out against Philly. Skid incoming. Sure. Chanel West, $20. $2. Boxing fan. Brock Purdy, best quarterback since Joe Montana. Best linebacker, too. Niners Way says, Grant, are you still a Trey guy? My guy. Trey? Trey Cool? The drummer for Green Day? 59ers are looking pretty good, if you ask me. He is Joe Cool 2.0 in 2023, Mr. Irrelevant MVP. Matt McEwen says, you see the Peter King wait and see-ism line? Yes, it was hilarious. Jimmy Kwan says, big shout out to Steve Wilkes, too. He has the secondary playing some excellent ball. DBs look very different. I agree. S. Dot says, shout out to Kinlaw, 2 sacks. Quality control, baby. Shout out to Kinlaw, man. Respect.